Hello from the other side. Okay, hi guys. Hello. It's been a minute. I think it's been 3 weeks since we have last shot our video. Welcome once again to SQR Book Reviews. I think I managed to cover two books since we have last seen each other. And I'm going to share one of them with you. It's an ebook called Me Before You. No, it's not actually an ebook. You can find it in retail. Um, it's I think it's available on Loot, Amazon. Yeah, so look up for it. I'm not sure who the author is, but it is an interesting novel. I managed to, and because it's interesting, I managed to finish it from A to Z. And there is no summary of this book, so I will, I have to like share with you bits and pieces that I found interesting from the book. So there's a prologue which talks about one of the staring in the book who's Will Trainer, who happened to be in an accident. He's a 34-year-old who's a professional, who's living his life, living large. He's a traveler. He does all kinds of holidays in a week. He has a beautiful blonde girlfriend and um, a good businessman, corporate professional. Um, and yeah, something just happened in this very first chapter. He got in an accident. He was run over by a motorbike on a rainy day on his way to work, and they leave it there. Like, okay, so this is towards the end of the epilogue. They say he turns toward it, the motorbike, and in that split second, he realizes that he is in its path, that there is no way he's going to be able to get out of its way. His hand opens in surprise, letting the Blackberry phone fall to the ground. He hears a shout, which may be his own. The last thing he sees is a leather glove, a face under a helmet, the shock in the man's eye mirroring his own. There's an explosion as everything fragments, and then there is nothing. At the very end of this epilogue, that's the chapter. And then it kept me intrigued. I was in suspense. But see, then, what happens? What happened? And then the book carries on now from 2 years later after that accident. It it goes to reveal that, the beautiful blonde girlfriend leaves him for his best friend. And Louisa Clark, one of the staring as well in the book, she's a keen worker. She is the breadwinner in the family, and she's been looking for a job since the last one she had closed down. And she managed to keep that job for a good 7 years, but it had to close down because the owner had to relocate to somewhere. And then the very next job she could get was, she was in desperate need, was of what do we call it when you are caring for a disabled person? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she was so she had to mind or care or help out at this castle, where Will Trainer, the disabled, um, lived. So yeah, she took on that job, and things were rocky in the beginning because Will Trainer uh, wasn't very much himself anymore. Things were just going down for him, and he wanted to commit suicide. you know he had no life in him left because now he's crippled. He's on a wheelchair. He can't walk. He can't feel his legs from that accident. Um, so yeah, Miss Clark, Louisa Clark, was now the carer, the helper of Will, and that is where the love tale unravels, and it's very exciting. Like if you go through the body of this book, like from beginning to end, I'm telling you, you will not be able to stop and feel, the dialogue between these two. So fine, let me share with you my very favorite part um, of this, of Me Before You, right? Um, so when Will Trainer decided to um, take his life after the 6 months agreement with his parents, he wrote Louisa Clark a letter, uh, and it says, I need to give you just a snippet. I can't read the whole letter for you because it takes up the whole chapter. It says, so this is it. Words from Will to Louisa. He says in the letter. So this is it. You are scored on my heart, Clark. You were from the first day you walked in, with your ridiculous clothes and your bad jokes and your complete inability to ever hide a single thing you felt. You changed my life so much more than this money will ever change yours. Don't think of me too often. I don't want to think of you getting all maudlin. Just live well. Just live. Love will. There is so much more from where that comes from. So I would best recommend that you get the book. You can get it online for free. And yeah, enjoy and keep me in your mind when you go through it, word for word.